not because it's a protein that it's good. And the maize is designed to contain and produce by itself a lot of these toxins, and the Bt brinjal, it's called Bt, the Bt brinjal in India was designed to make up to 15 to 16 milligrams of this insecticide per kilogram, which is a lot more than what is put on a field and that goes into a plant. So we have to take care about, thank you very much, we have to take care about this quantity of insecticide produced in a plant without testing that on human or animal health, if we want to be careful about human and animal health. Thank you. So 21%, so all the rest of the GMOs are doing both. So have both characters. They do absorb herbicide and they do produce insecticides, so they are double pesticide plants. So we can summarize saying that all 99.999999%, so almost all GMOs in the world, agricultural GMOs cultivated on an agricultural scale. I'm not talking about what is in research, because it takes 15 years to go from research to a significant agriculture field space. So 100% of agricultural GMOs are designed to contain new kind of pesticides. They are modified for that. It's not a chance. They are modified to increase the use of some pesticides that are sold by the company in the same time with patents than the seed. For instance, Roundup is sold by the company Monsanto, like the Roundup Ready GM soya, like the Roundup Ready GM maize, like the Roundup Ready GM cotton, like the Roundup Ready GM oilseed rape. And the Bt maize or the Bt cotton are designed to produce a new insecticide. So now you have understood, I guess, that the subject between pesticides and GMOs is 100% crossed. And if you want to get rid of the pesticides, you have to go to organic agriculture, because if you go to GMOs, it will be the contrary. Of course, you will avoid some pesticides with GMOs in the first time, but you will increase the Roundup consumption, which is one of the major pollutants of rivers, and you will increase the production of some new toxin. And for instance, around Montreal, in the soil, around the Saint Lawrence River, you have a lot of Bt toxin in the soil. They don't know the consequences of that. So it's just another pollution. Okay? So we have also, in questions, I can answer to the questions on transgenic salmon, because transgenic farming with fishes will be the next question. You know, the problem of fishes is that they have a lot of eggs, and do you know what they do? What are the characters of transgenic animals? The companies do what they have always dreamed to do. So before they were giving hormones in order to grow the animals faster. I mean, it must have consequences on obesity in the States, because they put hormones in the animals that the kids are eating in order to grow the animals faster. So of course, it must have consequences on human health. But they are just putting genetic engineering salmon with growth hormone overexpressed in the genes. So the gene of growth hormone is promoted in the transgenic salmon. Next slide. This is the transgenic brinjal. It resembles the normal brinjal in India. India is a very big country, more than 1 billion people, and the lawyers in the Supreme Court asked me to review the blood analysis of animals that had eaten the BT brinjal in order to know if it was good for the whole country. Because there was an affair at the Supreme Court in India, which was quite big, people going in the street and they say they do not want GMOs. And some people have put the data from Maiko's company, which is the sister of Monsanto in India, on the web in order to have the blood analysis of the animals. And then I had to review that. And I said, but there are liver and kidney problems with these animals that have been seen by Maiko, the company who wants to deliver brinjal in the country. Brinjal is 20 to 30% of the calories of India, so it's important. And Maiko said, well, we had seen this data, but we thought it was not important enough. And the Ministry of Agriculture and Environment in India decided to stop GM brinjal. Then there was a lot of pressure by Hillary Clinton in order to go back to the decision, in order to study again the file. But then the Minister of India said, no, make long-term tests, like we were advising. And I had a lot of pressure, even in France, about this file. But India now is out of GMOs because of that. They just cultivate GM cotton, which is not too much designed for feed, but they have problems with some sheep and goats that are eating the GM cotton, because you know, once you have taken the flour for tissue making, you still have the plant. And people say that the goats and the sheep are bleeding eating that. So I don't know exactly, but of course, they didn't want to go to the brinjal because they had already the cotton and they were not happy with the cotton, the BT cotton, which is the GM cotton. So the GM cotton is cultivated in India and China.
Tātad šo BT modificēto kokvilnu Indijā un Ķīnā pat labam audzē.
We think that everything is GM, just because there is advertisement about that. The companies, the GM companies, which are the 8 major GM companies, you should know, are the 8 major companies of drugs and pesticides. They are exactly the same. And they were interested by seeds and GM when they learned in 1980 that it was possible to patent seeds. Because one judge in the Supreme Court in the States, because of one judge only, on 5, there were 5 judges against 4 saying, yes, you can patent life. One man made a difference. And then all the American companies said, you have made the future of our economy. Because you know that if you can patent the 4 major seeds that are feeding the world, you just leave Bill Gates at the socks. Because you get royalties as soon as one woman or one man or one kid eats around the world. Because 60% of the food energy is made only by 4 plants. This is a major crime against biodiversity, because we have 30,000 edible seeds around the world. 30,000. And we are just having for industrial agriculture making 60% of food and feed energy, which are maize, soya for animals, mostly, and also we have rice and wheat for humans, mostly. And they want the patents on these 4 seeds because then they will have royalties as soon as somebody or an animal eats in intensive agriculture. So for this reason, patenting, which is very parallel to GMO, because all the GMOs are patented and they were the first forms of life patented. This fact made makes a lot of economic pressure at the WTO level in order to avoid some environmental and health tests. Because if they do that, they are taking a lot of delay, a lot of time in order to patent everything, and they don't want that. So that is my major message, is that if we are going short with environmental and health tests, it's because of this economic pressure on the patenting of life. And it's very much linked. You cannot think in the real world saying, well, first the environment and health risks are studied, and when everything is fine, then you go to the economical world. It doesn't work this way. The benefit of GMOs is driven by the amount of environmental and health tests that are requested before commercialization. And I will demonstrate you that. So you have only 4 seeds. And I would like to underline that Europe is almost devoid of GMOs. All the companies say they have lost Europe because in 1996, when they invented GMOs in agriculture, it was in 1995, only 15 years ago, they said in 2000 we will have 50% of European fields in GMOs. 50%, 50. And now we are 10 years later, and they have 0.05% of agricultural fields in GMOs. You know why? Because of the social reactions. Because it was said to people, this is a very modern, very potent technology. And then people said, okay, fine, where is it? In the plate. And then the company said, oh, we don't know exactly. So everybody was understanding at the first glance that this file was a draft, that it was not finished. Because you cannot say to people, this is very modern, this is very nice, but we don't know where it is in the plate. It's just stupid. We don't know where it is in the field exactly. It's just stupid to say that something is very modern and that you don't know where it is. Because then people understand that it cannot be monitored, it cannot be assessed. You cannot see the side effects if you don't know where it is. People can have cancers. I will make a question with you, if you allow me. We are all here representative of the people we love, in our family or in our close friends only. So can you tell me who in the room, in his family or close friends, has seen a cancer? Can you put your hands up? Yes. In his family or close friends. A nervous disease like Parkinson, Alzheimer, or nervous instability that necessitates a treatment. Can you put the hands up in your family or close friends? An allergy or an immune disease that cannot be cured easily and that necessitates a treatment. Who has got that in his family or close friends? An hormonal disease like diabetes or thyroid problem, or another hormonal disease in his family or close friends. And a reproductive disease, like, you know, that a lot of young couples want to have kids and they cannot anymore, or they have to go to the medicine, to doctors in order to see what happens. Maybe they can have kids finally, but they have problem when they want. Who know this kind of people? Now, all the people that have put the hands up at least once, could you do it again? Now look at all of you. Almost all people are concerned by the so-called chronic environmental pathology. Chronic environmental pathologies that are not explained by an explosion of viruses or bacteria. That are not explained by genetics because they have all